In this video today, I'll be talking about the DJI Action 2 camera. This is a newly released version of the Action 2. Of course, we know that the Action 2 camera has been out for a while with 32 gigs of RAM. This one is the new one that comes with 128 gigs of RAM. What's out there on the DJI store is two options. You can purchase the power combo or the dual screen combo. I went ahead and bought the power combo mainly because I already have a dual screen with my 32 gig version. So let's open the box and see what's in the box, and let's check it out. So one thing to note about this is even though it's a small package, it does come with quite a bit of stuff, so we're going to kind of go through that. Of course, like anything, you've got your accessories along with the actual camera itself. We'll look at the accessories that come with it. So one of the reasons I like the power combo, and again, I didn't need the dual screen. What I do like about the one for the 128 gigs is you do get the magnetic headband, which is something that I really wanted to get, and that's one of the reasons why I bought this particular package. And of course, you do have the magnetic lanyard as well, which is kind of cool. I do like this when it goes under the shirt and you're essentially just putting this on the actual action camera and kind of putting that right on over the shirt, which is kind of nice. You also have a USB-C charging cable, which is there. And then the other box, what we have here, of course, the typical DJI documentation and a sticker, which is kind of cool. You also have the, looks like what you're getting with this is the actual case, which is kind of nice. The magnetic case that actually helps with the heating problem that they have. Now, keep in mind, as far as what the Action 2 camera with 120 gig is all about, it really isn't any different than what the 32 gig version is. I mean, they're pretty much identical. Let me take all this stuff out. There we go. So camera wise, and of course I've got the case on this one, but it is identical. There is just nothing different about it. In fact, like I said, I already have the 32 gig version here, and I can actually just use the dual screen on this guy, which is right here. I mean, it's interchangeable. Mainly because if you look at the features on this, everything's the same. It's still the 4K, 120 frame per second sensor. It's a 1/1.7 inch sensor as well. It's waterproof up to 10 meters. It's got the time lapse, the hyperlapse. It's got the horizon steady. So it's pretty much the same. Battery power is the same. So nothing's really different about this other than just the fact that you've got more memory. So in the earlier version, you had 32 gigs, which kind of gave you about 22 gigs of usable internal memory. And you still have the micro SD card option as well if you're using the actual dual screen here, or if you're using the charging adapter as well, or module. And so you've got that as well. And of course you've got the case like here, so not any different. Now on the 128 gigs, you're going to get about 109.6 gigs of usable, which is quite a bit. And I think part of the reason that DJI probably came out with a 128 gig version, and this is just my thought, I haven't validated this, but the Insta360 also has the Go 3, which has 128 gigs of RAM, which was more internal memory, which was more than what the older Action 2, which only had 32 gigs. I almost went with that product, but I went ahead and decided on going with the Action 2 mainly because I like the simplicity of this. I don't have to use any other additional software if I'm doing editing, so I kind of like that. So that is a good thing about it. And I like the fact that this is capable of doing 4K. With the Insta360 Go 3, you still are limited to 2.7K, so it's not necessarily 4K. And it's one of those that's a preference. I mean, 2.7K wasn't bad either, but I finally decided just to go with the Action 2. I do like the size of the Action 2. I like the sturdiness. Now here's that power module, and it's pretty much the same as what you would normally get with a 32 gig version. And of course you've got USB-C here, and in the back here you also have the micro SD card option there, so you can move the whatever you have in internal memory over to the micro SD card if you need to. Now, as far as the case is concerned, this is not any different than the one that you had with a 32 gig version. And it's got the same issues as the other one in that you've got some space here in between, because this is really meant more for the dual screen module. And so you've got the gap here still, so it's the same as before, nothing different there. And of course, you've got this area exposed, and you know, for the screen, obviously you want to have that area exposed, but this is just the battery module, so it doesn't really make sense why you would have that open, but you know, it'd be nice to have a cover there so it doesn't get scratched up. But in any case, it's pretty cool. It's again, like I said, there's nothing different about this compared to the 32 gig other than you now have 128 gigs of memory internal for you to use. And I think it's great, and I still like the Action 2. I think it got a bad rap, obviously, you know, when it first started, and of course it had the heating issues. But I think overall, if you are interested in getting an Action 2, of course, for the price, I think it's a difference of probably like $20 for the 32 gig version versus this. So I personally would go more with the 128 gig and get that additional storage internally, so that if you're using this and you want to record and keep recording and then download later, you know, 128 gigs will give you more than plenty. Now, this camera doesn't replace my Action 4 or my Action 3 camera, but I do like this because it fits a niche. And the niche that this fits is that I can use this for like point of view, which I kind of like. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to get it. I also like the fact that if you're using this kind of camera, unlike the Action 4, I have to get that body strap, and it's kind of bulky and everything. On this one, it's just a matter of getting this lanyard and essentially just putting this under your shirt, and then essentially, get that out of the way, essentially just have your camera just kind of connect to that. So this is way much more comfortable to use than having to use that body harness that you normally would use for an Action 4 or Action 3 or even a GoPro for that matter. So again, I like the simplicity and the ease of use for this for point of view stuff, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, I've used this also as a selfie kind of setup. Like I said, I'm going to use my actual dual screen setup, and you know, you could essentially make this a selfie, and you pretty much got yourself a selfie stick here of any kind, and essentially use it as a selfie. So there you have it. This is the new DJI Action 2 128 gig version. Like I said, it comes in both the power combo, which is what you see here that I've got, and it also comes with the dual screen combo as well. And I hope this video kind of helps you get an idea of what this product is, what was new with it. Again, nothing new other than just the built-in memory being up 128 gigs now. And don't forget to click on the like. It does help with my stats. And if you haven't subscribed, that also helps with my stats. If you haven't, please subscribe. That does help. And again, thanks for watching this video and have a good day.